Hello! How are you? You good? Today we're gonna learn about the numbers in French, alright? Of course, in all the languages, the way you learn the numbers, they are basically the same, right? You have to learn the main one, the main numbers, and the rest you are going to duplicate, right? For example, for 20, just at 21, 22, you just add it there, right? So it's the same method we're gonna use here for French, all right? So I want you to pay attention to each pronunciation of each numbers, and then we're gonna do some exercise to fix it, all right? Very good. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I want you to pay attention to the pronunciation because basically the way it's written is not the same way they're pronounced in most cases, all right? So that's why you need to train more about the pronunciation, and then you will be able to fix it, right? So it's very simple. Now, from 1 to 20, it's okay, all right? Now, we're gonna, just as I said in the beginning, we're just going to replicate, for example, for 21, okay, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And then we have 30, 40, 50. Of course, you're just going to replicate. Just 51, 52, 53, 54. Okay? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Of course, you can see the 17s and the 90, right? I just put a different color. Why? Because they are the two numbers that are spoken differently in different parts of the world. Just as we know, French is spoken basically in all the continent, all right? But there's these divisions of way of speaking. For example, in Belgium and in France, they speak these two numbers differently, okay? So it's exactly what we're gonna be watching, what we're gonna be studying in this video. So stay stuck as we move on. Now, when it comes to talk about the 10th, right? For example, 21, 22, 23. All the time you have the 21 with the first unit, with the 1, okay, 31, 41, 51, 61. You have to add the conjunctions, and, like and in French is a, okay? 21, okay? But for the rest, you will continue. 22, 23, okay? For example, 40, 41, 42, 43, all right? Now, if you want to train it more, you can pause the video, all right? And you will learn it more as we move on, because we're going to do some exercise, again, to acquire all these numbers, all right? Very good. Now, remember I said the 17s and the 19s, they are the two numbers which are different from Belgium and France. Of course, we have Belgium, Sweden, okay? We have, some other countries that speaks French. Of course, they have these two different forms of speaking, all right? Now, pay attention. We have, for 17s in France, they say 70, 70. As you can realize, it's like 60 and 10, all right? 70. And what will be 71? Good. It will be 60 and 11. So, 71. 71. You see? 72. 72. That's in France. All right. Now, in Belgium, they say 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. All right? Is it difficult? Oh, I know. Maybe you're going to say, my goodness, am I going to calculate all the time I'm going to be speaking the number? No. You are just going to learn it and let it become natural. All right? Very simple. Now, I repeat again. For the 70s, all right, in Belgium, they say 70. In France, they say 70. Okay? For example, this number, in France, they will say 78. 78. And in Belgium, 78. 78. All right? Just that. And we also have the 90s, all right? Very good. In France, you will say, can you guess? Good! You did it. Right! You nailed it. 90 is like 80 and 10. All right? 90, 91, 92. All right? 93. That's how you say in France. But in Belgium, they say 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. All right, guys. Is it simple? Very simple. Now, one more time before we move on to some other details. 94, 74. No, 94, 94. And in Belgium, they will say 94. Okay? 94 in Belgium, 94 in France. Now, I want you to try this one. What is it? In France, how do you say that? Very good. 98. 98. And in Belgium, 98. 98. Okay? Is it very simple? Just relax, relax. We're gonna do more exercises, okay, to acquire that. Now, what you need to know at this moment, you just have to repeat it that all the time, right? So it's become part of you, okay? Now, guys, I want you to understand something. There's a big difference between learning something new and something difficult. Many times we say, it is difficult. No. It is not difficult. It is something new. So if it's your first time you're learning that in French, of course, you need time to acquire that. You need time to get used with that, right? So it can look hard in the beginning, but the more you practice, it will become natural, all right? It's all about the process. It's all about the process, all right? Very good. Now, we have learned from 1 to 90, okay? All these one. Well, okay? Just to summarize what we just said, okay? Very good. All there. Very simple. Now, we're gonna go further again. For 100, 100. Just as we follow the same logic, 100, 101, 102, 103, the same. Now, what number will be this one? 128. 128. And what about this one? 675. 675 in Belgium, remember? And in France? 675. All right? Oh my gosh. 675, exactly. We have 600, okay? 75. 660 plus 15, all right? 675 in France, 675 in Belgium, all right? Very good. Please, you can check on the descriptions, okay? I've put all the details there so you can read it more again and then to fix it, all right? It's very simple. And we're going to learn all the other numbers because we are still in the cardinal number, right? We are not yet in ordinal number, all right? Woo-hoo! Now, from here, I'm sure that you know everything about the number. Vito, what are you talking about? Exactly. What you've just learned at this moment, you can cite or you can talk about any other numbers in French. For instance, this one. How much is this? It's 795, right? Now, in France, what would you say? 795. Okay? 795. And in Belgium, 795. Okay? Guys, it's only the 70s and the 19 that are different, alright? But the rest is the same in all countries that speak French, okay? In all French-speaking country is the same. But it's only in those two numbers that you have to pay attention, alright? When you are Belgium, you got to know how to say the 17th, and when you are in France as well, okay? It's very simple, isn't it? Now, let's move on again. This one. 986. Okay? 473. 473, where? In Belgium. 473 in France. Okay? Is it very simple? Is it? Very, very simple. Okay? Now we have learned from 1 to 100, right? Very good. And of course, just to follow the rhythm, right? 500, 500, 600, 600, okay? 900, all right? 900, 900, the same logic. Now, for 1,000, how do you say 1,000 in French? Okay, 1000, 1000, 1001. 1275, 1275. And what about this one? Okay, 6622. And what about this one? Okay, 15786. Okay, very good. And what about this one? 30207. All right, just to follow the logic, it's the same logic. All right, when you know the main numbers, so you're just going to repeat. Basically, numbers, if you know how to say from 0 to 9, all right, so the rest you just have to know the 10th, and then of course you're going to be moving on with that, right? Very simple, isn't it? Another exercise again. What about this one? Oh my goodness! 100,000, okay? 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. All right? Now let's go again with number a little bit higher. All right? What about this one? 600,727. 600,727. Okay? Very simple, isn't it? And of course, we have 1 million. Okay, 1 million. 1 million. 2 millions. 3 millions. Okay? Okay, guys, now let's talk about the ordinal number very quickly in French, okay? It's so simple, guys. As you can see, the one in red is exactly what you have to add in each number you say. That's exactly it's gonna make it ordinal, okay? Now, we have premier first. We have premier and première. Premier is for masculine, all right? And première is for feminine. But the rest we have there, troisième, quatrième, cinquième, for example, 21st, 21e, 23rd, 23e. You see, you just had em in front of them. I mean, at the end of the word, okay? For example, what will be 31st, 31st, 31e, 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 okay? Just adding em, and that's all for ordinal number. Okay, guys? Thank you.